Hello everyone. Once again, welcome to this TYBSc MMP class. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss topics ether hypothesis and Michelson-Morley experiment. Let us start with ether hypothesis. As we know, sound is a wave and it propagates through air, water, any liquid or solid, but it cannot propagate through vacuum. That sound wave cannot propagate through vacuum. Hence, it is proved that for propagation of wave, material medium is required. Material medium is required. Light is a wave. The interference diffraction like phenomena proved that light has wave nature. But light propagates even through vacuum. That light propagates even through vacuum. Then the question is, what is the medium of propagation of light? What is the medium of propagation of light? So scientists assume that some hypothetical medium called luminiferous ether, or in short, ether. Ether exists everywhere, even in vacuum, and light propagates through that ether medium. Light propagates through that ether medium. The wave velocity v is equal to, the expression for wave velocity v is equal to square root of E upon rho, where E is the elasticity of medium, and rho density of the medium. But the light velocity is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. That is 3 lakhs kilometer per second. Very high velocity. This V is very high. Then the E must be very high. That elasticity of the medium must be very high and the density must be very small. Also, as the second point is, as Earth is moving, and if relative motion between Earth and ether detected, for this the experiment Michelson-Morley performed the experiment that we will see in next part. As Earth is moving and if relative motion between Earth and ether detected, then ether can be considered as fixed frame of reference, and we can express all motions relative to this ether frame. Thus, according to this ether hypothesis, ether is considered as a transparent, that is invisible medium, and highly elastic, and which provides a fixed frame of, that stationary frame of reference, called absolute frame of reference. Next topic, Michelson-Morley experiment. As we have just seen, it is assumed that for propagation of light, medium is ether. Then to detect the existence of ether, scientists Michelson and Morley perform experiment called Michelson-Morley experiment. Before discussing this setup, let us see the idea behind this. That this is the Earth, which is rotating with velocity v. That Earth is rotating with velocity v. And let us assume this is the hypothetical medium ether surrounding this Earth surface, and this is the Michelson-Morley instrument placed on the surface of the Earth. Then as Earth is rotating, then let us assume this is the moving frame of reference. This Earth is a moving frame of reference which is moving with velocity v relative to stationary ether. That ether is assumed stationary. Then this ether is a stationary frame of reference. Earth is a moving frame of reference, and this instrument, Michelson-Morley instrument, is in moving frame of reference of Earth. Therefore, it is also moving with velocity v. Then let us see the experimental setup. This is the experimental setup of Michelson-Morley experiment. The different parts of this instrument. This is a source of beam of monochromatic light of wavelength lambda. That is a single wavelength source. Then this is a lens. This lens is used to focus the light beam. This P is a half silvered glass plate at angle 45. This half silver, that back surface of this plate is silver coated, and this is placed at angle 45 to the incident beam. At angle 45 to the incident beam. Then this is a simple glass plate of same thickness as this plate P. This thickness of this compensating plate is same as this plate P. It is also placed at an angle 45. Then there are two plane mirrors, this mirror M1 and this mirror M2. These two plane mirrors, and T is the telescope which is used to observe the interference pattern. This light incident on this plate P, is divided into two beams. At this silvered portion, at back silvered portion, the light partially get reflected and partially refracted. This blue color beam is a refracted beam, and this green color beam is a reflected. This reflected beam strikes the mirror M1 at position B, and it reflects back and again refracted through this glass plate, and goes to this telescope. This refracted beam pass through this compensation plate and strikes the mirror M2. From mirror M2, it is reflected back, incident on this plate P, and it is reflected towards telescope. In this way, this reflected beam 1, green beam, and this refracted, that is transmitted beam 2, these two beams interfere, and here the interference pattern is produced. This compensation plate is used because this reflected beam pass through this thickness of the glass plate 3 times. First, when it is incident on this surface, this is first time. Then the reflected, then it passed through this glass plate, and when it is reflected back again, in this way, this reflected beam pass through this thickness of the plate 3 times, while the transmitted beam once only. Then to compensate the path in a glass medium, this another plate is placed exactly parallel to this plate. Therefore, through this glass plate, the beam passes 2 times when it goes towards the mirror M2 and when it is reflected back. This 2 and this 1. This way, this path in a glass plate is compensated, and these two beams interfere, and the interference pattern is observed in telescope. To make the analysis of this interference pattern, let us do some derivation work. As this apparatus is placed on the earth and earth is moving with velocity v, therefore this apparatus or this instrument is also moving with velocity v with respect to the stationary ether that we have just discussed, that this instrument is moving with velocity v relative to the stationary ether, and this is the direction of motion of this velocity. Then as per Galilean transformation, velocity of light along PA, that is this refracted beam along this PA, velocity of light, this light which is transmitted through this glass plate P and which is going to incident on mirror M2, velocity of this light along this direction, along the direction of motion of the instrument, that velocity of light along PA will be c minus v, c minus v. And when it is reflected from this mirror surface, then velocity of light along AP will be c plus v. In opposite direction to the direction of motion of the instrument, the velocity is c plus v, and along the direction of motion of the instrument, the velocity is c minus v. Then this distance PA, let this distance PA is equal to PB. This distance of this mirror M2 and M1. This distance PB and this PA is equal. Let this distance is equal to D. Distance PA is equal to P equal to D. Then time of travel of light from P to A. Time of travel of light from P to A. Distance is D. The distance of point P to mirror A is distance is D. Velocity is c minus v along the direction of motion of the apparatus. The velocity is c minus v. Therefore, time is equal to distance upon velocity. Therefore, time of travel of light from P to A is d distance upon the velocity c minus v. And time of travel of light from A to P in backward direction, A to P. The distance is same, but the velocity is c plus v. In opposite direction, the velocity is c plus v. Therefore, time of travel of light from A to P is d upon c plus v. The time of travel along the direction from P to A is d upon c minus v, and time of travel from A to P in opposite direction of the motion of the instrument is d upon c plus v. Then the total time of travel from P to A and back from A to P. P to A is d upon c minus v, and A to P is d upon c plus v. Therefore, the total time is d upon c minus v plus d upon c plus v. Simplify this, then t is equal to multiply c minus v to this d and c plus v to this d and simplify. Then d in bracket c plus v plus d in bracket c minus v upon c minus v c plus v. Then this is c square minus v square. Then simplify this. Then this dv get cancelled. This dc plus dc is twice dc upon c square minus v square. So t is equal to twice dc upon c square minus v square. Then take c square common from denominator. Take c square common. Then t is equal to twice dc upon c square. 1 minus v square upon c square. This 1 minus v square upon c square, if we transport to the numerator, then it becomes 1 minus v square upon c square raised to minus 1. As twice d upon c, 1 minus v square upon c square raised to minus 1. Then apply here binomial theorem. As this denominator is very large, that c is very large as compared to v, therefore higher terms neglected. Applying binomial theorem and neglecting the higher order terms, we get 1 plus v square upon c square. 1 minus v square upon c square raised to minus 1 is equal to 1 plus v square upon c square. Therefore, t is equal to twice d upon c, 1 plus v square upon c square. This first expression. We have just derived time t from P to A and back to P, that P, A, P. Then let us derive from P to B and back to P. Due to motion of the earth, reflected ray strikes the mirror at P dash, because the apparatus is moving in this direction. Therefore, when light starts motion from this point, then it cannot strike here B. But in the meantime, the mirror is moved to the position B dash. Therefore, the light strikes at position B dash and then get reflected. In the meantime, the plate is moved to this distance because of the motion of the apparatus. Then this light reflected light strikes at this position P dash. Then the let time of travel of the light ray from P to B dash is T1. P to B dash. Let this time from P to B dash is T1. Then PB dash is equal to this PB dash is equal to C into T1. Because time is T1, velocity is C, therefore distance PB dash is equal to velocity into time. That PB dash is equal to C into T1. And this distance BB dash is equal to V into T1 because the time is same. From B to B dash time is T1 and velocity of this instrument is V. Therefore, velocity of this mirror is also V. Therefore, velocity is V, time is T1. Therefore, this distance BB dash is equal to VT1. Distance BB dash is equal to VT1. Then total path of the ray from P to B dash and back here P dash, from P to B dash and from B dash to P dash, that PB dash P dash is equal to this PB dash plus B dash P, PB dash plus B dash P. But these two paths are equal from P to B dash and B dash to P. Therefore, PB dash P dash is equal to twice PB dash, twice PB dash. Therefore, this path P P dash P dash is equal to twice PB dash, twice PB dash. From figure, from this triangle, PB dash C, this right angle triangle, this angle is 90 degree. PB dash C, that PB dash square is equal to this hypotenuse square, that PB dash square is equal to PC square plus CB dash square, PC square plus CB dash square. That PB dash square is equal to PC square plus CB dash square, CB dash square. But PC is equal to BB dash. This PC, this distance PC is same as BB dash, this BB dash square. And CB dash, this CB dash is equal to PB. This CB dash is equal to this distance P to P. That BB dash square plus PB square. Just we have seen this BB dash is equal to VT1. BB dash is equal to VT1. This PB is the distance D. Distance of mirror M1 from the plate P is D. Therefore, PB is equal to D. PB dash is equal to VT1 and PB dash, this distance PB dash is C square T1 because PB dash is equal to CT1. PB dash is equal to CT1, PB dash is equal to VT1 and PB is, this distance is D. Therefore, substitute this, PB dash is equal to CT1, C square T1 square is equal to BB dash VT1, V square T1 square and PB is, this PB is D. Therefore, C square T1 square is equal to V square T1 square plus D. From this take this V1 V T1 square, V square T1 square towards the left hand side, then take common T1 square and write the expression for T1 square. That T1 square is equal to D square upon C square minus V square, or T1 is equal to D upon square root of C square minus V square. T1 is equal to D upon square root of C square minus V square. Total time of travel till path PB dash P dash, PB dash P dash. This time is T1. Therefore, this time is also T1. Therefore, total time from P to B dash is T1, B dash to P dash is T1. Therefore, twice T1. P dash P dash is equal to twice T1. But T1 is equal to D upon square root of C square minus V square. That T dash is equal to twice D upon square root of C square minus V square. Then take C common outside the square root. Then in the square root 1 minus V square upon C square twice D upon C into square root. This 1 minus V square upon C square raised to up. Or this may be written T dash is equal to twice D upon C 1 minus V square upon C square raised to minus half. Then again apply the binomial theorem. This denominator C is very large as compared to the velocity of the earth. Velocity of light is very high as compared to the velocity of the earth. Therefore, neglecting the higher order terms, apply the binomial theorem and neglect the higher order terms, then this is equal to 1 plus V square upon twice C square. Then T dash is equal to twice D upon C, bracket 1 plus V square upon twice C square. The second expression. We have derived this 2 times T and T dash. This T is a time of travel from P to A and back to P. From P to A and back to P. While this T dash is a time of travel from P to P dash and to P dash. This direction. This is the time of travel from P to mirror M1 and back to plate P. This 2 times T is equal to twice D upon C 1 plus V square upon C square, and T dash is equal to twice D upon C 1 plus V square upon twice C square. Due to the ether drift, T is greater than T dash. This time T along the direction of motion of the apparatus, and this is a time T dash, which is the time in the perpendicular direction of motion of the apparatus, this T dash. Then this T along the direction of motion of the apparatus is greater than T dash. Due to ether drift, T is greater than T dash, and this difference is delta T. Delta T is equal to T minus T dash. Substitute these values of T. Then delta T is equal to, substitute this T and this T dash and simplify. Then we get 2 D V square upon C cube minus 2 V square upon twice C cube. If we simplify further, then we get delta T is equal to dV square upon C cube. Delta T is equal to dV square. This time difference between the 2 times T and T dash. T is along the direction of motion of the apparatus and T dash is in perpendicular direction. Delta T is equal to dV square upon C cube. The distance traveled by light in time delta T will be time delta T. C is the velocity. Then the distance traveled is delta T into C. Time is delta T. C is the velocity. Then distance traveled is delta T into C. That dV square upon C cube, delta T is dV square upon C cube into C, which is dV square upon C square. Thus, path PA is optically longer. Path A, this T is greater than T dash, and this T is along the direction of motion, that PA. Thus, path PA is optically longer than path PB by amount dV square upon C square. Though the two path distance is same, D is the distance between the plate and mirror M1 and M2. Though the distance is same, but the optical path travel is different, that T is greater than T dash. Thus path PA is optically longer than path PB, and that amount is dV square upon C square. And this is the path difference. If whole apparatus is rotated through 90 degree, whole apparatus is rotated through 90-degree, path PB will be optically longer than path PA by amount dV square upon C cube. If PB is along the direction of motion of the apparatus and PA is perpendicular to the direction of motion, this path, if the paths interchange, A and PB interchange, in that case, path PB will be optically longer than path PA by amount dV square upon C square. Hence, effect of rotation of apparatus is to produce the path difference, dV square upon C square, and after rotation again dV square upon C square. Therefore, the total path difference. Hence, effect of rotation of the apparatus is to produce the path difference square upon C square. The next analysis of this data and the conclusion of this experiment we will see in next lecture. That's all. Thank you.